Hi, it's Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Today we're going to make we'll call it a pen holder. Well, it could be any kind of holder, really. And it sits on top of your desk, and it's made out of plumbing supplies. I hope you'll stay tuned. My girlfriend Sherry made me this really cute little holder, and she made it out of different plumbing pieces. And I loved it. I thought it was really cute. She used graphic 45 papers, and she, lined the top of it with different parts of graphic 45 papers. And she sent me some graphic 45 paper as well. And the only thing that I'm doing a few things differently, but she did not put a bottom on hers, and I'm putting acetate on the bottom of mine so that things don't fall out. Here's the ones that the plumbing pieces I bought. You're going to go to your local hardware store. You don't need one this big, but I thought it'd be fun to have one really big. And the reason I wanted one of these is it's really heavy, sturdy, heavy duty. And I wanted to be able to put my scissors in that one. And then I have this one that I already did that I just practiced on. I just wanted to make sure that I could do it. I'm having trouble keeping my glue on there. I think it was because I did it when it was humid out. And I put some color around the top edge with one of my alcohol markers. I thought that would be fun to make the color on top kind of match the sides. And then these are the three we're going to play with today. And the paper I'm using is, I think this is called Couture Creations, I'm pretty sure, but it's not this piece. I'm using the back. And if I wanted to, I could use this edge that edges on that paper, or I could use this little piece. We're going to play with that. I also took some of my floral dies. I cut them out of that paper, and then I took an ink. You can see the paper better. And then I took an ink that was from Wendy Vecchi, and it's these ones make art. And which color was it I used? It's missing in action. It rolled over. Here it is. It's called Orange Blossom, and all I did was I rubbed I'll show you. I just took one of these. I'm going to show you the back. Here's the back. This is what it looks like beforehand, and then I just went like this, and I put it on there, and then I picked it up, and then I kind of just rubbed the ink in. But, I pushed harder so that I got a lot of ink on there. But that's how I did those. Then, what I'm going to do, I thought what I would do before I put all of my parts together is I would make my flowers first. Okay, these are the ones I'm going to be using. And then I cut out these little leaves. So I have some leaves. And then I cut out this bigger, I cut this out, but all I really want is this and this. I don't want the rest of it, so I cut out 2 of those. Well, we'll start with this. So the first thing I wanted to do is I'm going to take a piece of foam, like that, and if you've never done this will be something fun for you to learn how to do. But all we're going to do is we're going to learn how to bend the leaves. And I have this set of styluses that I got. It's from a company called McGill, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And I just, when I get more, I just kind of throw them in there. So the ones that came in this set are these green ones. They're like turquoise. Yeah, turquoise. They're yellow and green. And then the blue ones I think I got from AliExpress. But anyway, first thing I want to do is I'm going to take the bigger set of these. And you can do this a bunch of different ways, but the way I like to do it to begin with is I like to rub the center, because that brings all of my petals up. See how it does that? And then I like to turn it over, and I like to just gently, hopefully you can see this, bend the tops of these so that they end up bending down a little bit on the ends. So this, you got the gist of it. I'm going to go over the center of this one more time so that my center gets really really push down. But now you can see the dimension on it, like that. And then we can layer 2 of them. I'm going to lay them so that I have them centered, but offset. I don't want them to be laying on top of each other in exactly the same order. I want to make sure that they're, and then I'm going to put a pretty good size hole there because I want to be able to put my stamen in there. And my little stamen that I chose, I might change my colors. I haven't decided yet. I have these lighter colors, and then I have these colors. I wanted something that was a little bit different. Well, I thought I would show you how to make this, how to get this, the stamen in there so they're easy to get in. And here's how I did it, because this took me a little while to figure out. What I did is I folded the stamen in half. I'll show you on these because you can see them better, but we'll go back to the other ones in a second. Here's what you do. You're going to get your stamen that are like this. They're long. See how long they are? And then you're going to fold them in half so that both ends of the stamen are at the same height. Got that? And then you're going to take a little piece of Scotch tape and you're going to wrap it around the bottom like this. See that? And then, and this is the secret and the easiest part, you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut the tape on an angle. Do you see that? So that when you put your my two layers of flour together, and I already poked holes in that, then I'm going to push those 2 stamen through with the tape on it, and then you can take the tape off or you can leave the tape on and just glue it down with your hot glue gun. But I'm going to cut off some of that tape so that it doesn't stick out once I've glued it in place. So I'm going to take a little glue and I'm going to glue that leaf. Try not to put a big gob there. There. And then I got a big gob in the end, just like I didn't want. But anyway, then I'm going to take my scissors, because I don't want to touch this myself, and I'm just going to hold that in the hot glue for a second so that it sets up. And then if you don't like this length, if you want them to be shorter, you can do that by pulling them through more, and then you can bend them a little bit more. And then I decided with some of these that I would not put the stamen on them because I thought it'd be fun to vary it up. So on this one, I'm going to have to poke some pretty significant holes because I really wanted to have a lot of stamen in it. So I'm going to poke a lot of holes here. I folded them all in half and I put the piece of tape around it, and then I'm going to cut the tape so that it's at a point. You see the point? And then hopefully that point is going to allow us to push it through. And then you just keep slowly, because remember, you're pulling it through paper. Even though it's 2 layers of paper, it's still paper that we're pulling it through. Then I'm going to take one of my petals and glue it underneath. And then I want to fold these back. And we're just going to put another dollop of glue on the back. I have my little frond there that I glued on. Put that there. Then what I think I'm going to do next is just glue some of these other pieces of leaf underneath some of my other ones. So I think I'm ready to start putting everything together. So the first thing you want to do when you're doing this is you're going to measure how tall your piece is. And my biggest one is 3 1/4 inches tall. So I'm going to get my paper And I'm just going to cut 3 1/4 inches. My paper is 12 by 12 paper. That's that one. Then my littlest one is about 1 5/8. So we'll cut a piece that's 1 5/8. My last one is this one is 1 and it's almost 1 3/4. So we've got all of our little pieces here. And the other thing I want to do is I'm going to get some other papers that are going to be decorator papers. And these all have like weird little things on the outside that plumbing pieces have, but you ignore those. And all we're going to do is I'm going to use hot glue for part of it, and I'm going to use tear tape for part of it. And the reason for that is I want the tear tape to hold it, but I think the hot glue in the end is going to do a better job of making sure that it stays where I want it to. Oh, before I do that, I want to do one more thing. I wanted to attach my acetate to the bottom, and when I did it the last time, it's here underneath all these things. You just have to be able to figure out where it is. I'm not using very thick acetate. I'm just using the acetate that you get when you get stamp sets, and it's not going to be any, big stuff. I'm going to use some washi tape to hold it in place. Just using some basic, I think this is from an old Stampin' Up set of washi tape, and washi tape gets bad if you don't use it. So my input for you is use your washi tape before it goes bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a black marker, and I'm just going to mark around the edges of it like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's going to see it, and nobody's going to see the edges there that I just made the boo-boo with. So let me cut this out, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do next with it. So then what I did before, this is exactly how I did it the last time. I took my washi tape. This is so it made it so it would stay. Then, because all I'm using that for is to hold this in place while I put my hot glue on it. You don't need it there in the long term. You just need it just while you're doing this part. And you're just putting a little bit of hot glue around the edges. And then I can take off this one and lift up that flap. And do the same thing. We're just gonna make sure our hot glue is well adhered. Then I trim the edges because my circle is a little bit bigger than my plumbing tube, we'll call it. If you want to leave the washi tape on, you can, for just a little bit of extra stability. I did leave it on some of mine, but you can see it's on there, secure and for good. Okay, next up, we're just going to lay a row of tape right there. And again, this is just to get our paper started so that when we do our hot glue, it's nice and it's well adhered. And I'm not putting the tear tape at the very end, because I want to be able to put under this little piece, I want to be able to put some hot glue. Maybe I'll move it down a little bit more. That looks good. And that way we can, there we go. And then the cool part about that is you can just roll it onto your hot glue. Like that. Isn't that cool? I think it's cool. Just saying. Okay, then I'm just gonna run I have another piece of tear tape right there. It's almost at the end, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some more hot glue. So I glued everything together, and now I'm going to wrap this ribbon around it. I attached 2 of these on top of each other because I like the look of them all being the same height. And I'm going to be adding a whole bunch more decorations to it, so I didn't want to, I wanted to look, I don't know, I just wanted to look frisky, I guess. And I'm just running a dollop of glue kind of around the center of the ribbon. Makes it easier to do it that way than to put it onto the plumbing plastic piece. I was trying to think what you'd call that. We'll call it our pencil case. We just want to make sure that, ouch, got a little glue in there. We just want to make sure that we get everything well adhered and that I go into these little corners that separate each one of the plumbing pieces. We'll still keep calling it plumbing piece. This is Stampin' Up. It's retired. It's called Beachfront, the ribbon. And I got it on Split Coast Stampers, which is a site where Stampin' Up reps sell their retired products mainly. So now we've got it. This is what it looks like right now. Obviously, it's not anything like what we want it to be. We're looking to have it really well decorated. So the first thing I want to do, these, you have to make sure you've got the bottoms where you want them, because sometimes I've glued things upside down, as you know, and that's not a good thing. So I think what I want to do is I want to put one of these kind of hiding this little section, or should I just focus everything on the front and not even think about that? I might do that. I'm going to stand it up so that you can hopefully see it really well. Okay. Okay, I think I'm going to put that one right there. Ooh. Just got that everywhere, huh? All right. I like the ribbon. I'm happy with that. I have a little issue right in here. I could put some greenery in there, which I think I'll do. No one will ever notice that, will they? They might, but we're hoping they don't. So I think this might be the end of my decorating. I have some more little flowers like these that I could put in there, but I just haven't decided how I do it. And then I have these kind of swirly things that I think it's just too much. Well, I forgot that I wanted to add some of these hydrangeas that are from my tree outside. And the green part is what I really like. And they're already, I let them set in the house for just a few days and they're already dry. They're really cool. If you've never played with hydrangeas, they're really fun. And I have, mine was supposed to be a bush, but it turned out to be a huge tree. It every year we cut it down and it's probably, I don't know, 10, 12 feet tall. It's a beautiful tree. And my blossoms were supposed to be white with green, but they are white. Well, they're green. They're never really white. They're green, and then they turn pink as they dry. The thing that's nice about these is every year, if you get tired of the leaves that are on it, every year I throw away my old leaves. My old I put vases of these out, and every year I replace the vases with new ones. You know, new flowers, and that's nice because then you can, if they're dusty and yucky like they get after a while, you don't have to worry about it. Let me see if I want to put one more, maybe right in there. Okay. Now I'm happy with it. I think it's a little bit more organic. So there it is. I hope you enjoyed this, that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and please tell your friends about me on social media because you know I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.